What's going on? We back. It's Box Clean Gamora. Y'all read the headline. Talking about if the Cold War ended today, what are the top five fights that you want to see? As far as the Cold War, I mean that promoters that don't work together, and refuse to work together. As far as the main ones, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, Top Rank Bob Arum, Premier Boxing Champion, Showtime, Al Heyman, HBO, ESPN, the whole nine. And give me a few fights that you want to see happen. If they all just say, okay, we work together, we want to make the five best fights happen right now. So my number one is Gilberto Ramirez and David Benavidez. They sparred together. Benavidez said the sparring was so good they could sell the tape. Both big guys. Obviously, Ramirez has his grown man body already. He's a strong guy, but he's limited, but he's still learning. David Benavidez got a lot better from the first Gavril fight to the second, and now being a world champion. He's the WBC world champion, world best champion in the world, or we beat crooks, depending on what side of the pendulum you sit on, Floyd or James Toney. Ramirez is the WBO inaugural top-ranked champion. We know the WBO champion consistently works with the WBO, and that's just like they choice of belts. But this would be an excellent fight. It's hard to argue that this wasn't higher on the list because of the style-wise, but popularity, they're still trying to get that notoriety. Benavidez is only 20. He turns pro at 16 in Mexico. Ramirez is in his mid-20s. Strong guy. First Mexican super middleweight champion of the world. David Benavidez is the youngest super middleweight champion of the world. So right there you got history. They both Mexican descent. Gilberto from Mexico. Mexican American David Benavidez from Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to Phoenix, stand up. And this would be an excellent fight wherever they would want to put it in. Mexico, Texas. And if it's built up right, it could be something very, 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 very special in my opinion. But they still building. And if it happened today, I'll be down there to see it. Jamil Charlo, Saddam Ali. The reason for this fight, which you probably could do other fights that you probably rank higher on you guys' list, like maybe Santa Cruz and Oscar Valdez, or Oscar Valdez and Gary Russell, something like this. But with Irslandi Lara and Jerry Swift Hurd fighting at the Carson StubHub Center, I believe, to unify the WBA and the IBF title. And people forget that Lara got the IBO title, but nobody cares about that. Why not go ahead and unify with Jamil Charlo with the WBC championship? We be the world best champion, or we be crooks, again, depending on which side of the pendulum you sit on, James Toney or Floyd Mayweather. And, unify with, WBO. Also, Golden Boy usually works very, very close to WBO. They have a money line to the WBO. But, just because, you can get an undisputed champion, in the next fight. And I think that's very, very important in my book, especially from a division that turned down, two tournaments, I believe. The WBC tried to do an unofficial tournament. And the World Boxing Super Series tournament came in 154 first and tried to, do a tournament so they get some American dates. All the guys refused to fight each other. And that's how it been like that for a minute. But this would be an excellent fight, just because we'll be on the line. Saddam Ali probably will get destroyed, decapitated, his head ripped off. But he can fight. He as much as he can take punishment, he's standing. He still can box. He still can fight. But it is a bad stylistic matchup. He's probably more of a natural welterweight. But, imagine if he can, take, sitting down his punches and take it back down to 47, how much vicious of a puncher that he would be. He moves in punches. He was hurting guys at 47. But when he sat down with Cotto, he definitely was buzzing Cotto. If he goes to 47 and sits down just like that or sits down more, he's definitely going to be a dangerous foe. But to Jamil Charlo, he just water under the bridge. He wastes management, take out the trash, drag it out front. And just, it'll be a decapitation. But I just want to see one champion at 154 pounds. And that can help move that as well. We're going on to segue into another good fight that I want to see. It's the Sergey Kovalev versus the winner of the Donna Stevenson and Badou Jack. We know that Kovalev and Stevenson was playing cat and mouse for years. Stevenson jumped ship to Al Heyman while they was in the middle of negotiations on HBO for Adonis Stevenson to take on Sergey Kovalev. Stevenson didn't want it. Then it was a purse bid ordered. HBO didn't want to let Kovalev go to Showtime because I think they had won the purse bid because of his, he had a fight deal with HBO. So that was understandable. But Stevenson never wanted that smoke with Kovalev. We all know that. even after Andre Ward, I don't still believe he wants that smoke. But Badou Jack called him a racist, talking about Kovalev, and said that he's willing to fight him. He said he wants to fight Kovalev, and that'll be an interesting fight because if Badou Jack can get on the inside versus Stevenson or Kovalev, you know, he can cause some problems in my opinion, but be a good fight. And if Badou Jack win, you probably have more of a chance of seeing a unified champion, you know, with the WBC than Adonis Stevenson. And the world is holding hands and sending energy like a spirit bomb to Badou Jack. He's definitely Goku to, you know, Adonis Stevenson Cell or something like that, or Freezer. You know, and a lot of people tired of Stevenson. I'm tired of Stevenson. I used to support him. He's a joke. He's a clown. And we all hoping that Badou Jack wins, but it's a tough test. Stevenson got that one-hitter quitter with that left hand. But, you know, Kovalev versus the winner of this would be excellent for the light heavyweight division. It's a fight that a lot of people wanted to see. A lot of fight that we, you know, put stock in with Kovalev and Stevenson. If Jack beats Kovalev, Jack has already laid down the gauntlet to Kovalev. You know, he said, you know, you racist, I'm going to knock your dick in the dirt. So that's definitely a fight that I want to see. But we first got to get past May 19th in the Montreal Bell Center with Adonis and Badou Jack, and everybody be holding hands, watching, praying for Badou Jack to do something that other guys couldn't do, and that's beat Adonis Stevenson. And you know, then hopefully he fights Kovalev or Barrera, Bivol winner. That'll be excellent. You know what it is. We going into the next one. Okay, this is high on the list. Obviously, we're talking about Vasily Lomachenko and Mikey Garcia. Shout out to Correa, ILTBA Boxing Talk. It's going down. ILBTA Boxing Talk Radio going down 8 p.m. Central Time today. Y'all can find my boy Correa Bradshaw, Correa ILBTA on Facebook. He's going to be streaming it. He got a public page, so y'all go check that out. A good radio show. He compared this to Barrera and Prince Nassim Hamed last night when I was chopping it up with him on Facebook Live. And, you know, it'd be interesting, you know, because Mikey is a technician. He understands what the pressure that he wants to bring. But I understand he's not calling Lomachenko Prince Nassim. He's just saying that he has an unorthodox and awkward style, and he's thinking that Mikey Garcia will be able to talk that, you know, speak that language very well and touch Lomachenko. I think that'll be a close fight. I favor Mikey slightly, but I don't know. I think Mikey's going to have a lot of trouble above 135. I just see a lot of big guys there, and a lot of people laughed at me because I said the guys that was going to beat him last night. But I'm usually not wrong. You know, I just don't see him translating to 140 that well. It's a lot of big punches there, but him and Lomachenko will be an excellent fight. You know, Lomachenko's going. That'd be interesting, man. It'd be interesting to see Mikey Garcia game plan. Him and Robert and his dad, Big G, have some of the best game plans in the world, and they probably already envision and know what they want to do with Vasily Lomachenko. And he doesn't fight that Orlando Salido tough style, but he might have to versus Lomachenko, especially if he's walking around on 170 pounds. But, you know, like I said, this is if the Cold War ended, you know, and the three promoters that, you know, rarely work together on big fights and never work together on huge fights other than Mayweather Pacquiao, you know, they get to working together. But this would be definitely a fight that a lot of people want to see. Style make fights, and you know, see what Mikey would do with him. But, you know, it would be very, very interesting in my opinion, and something that I would be looking forward to and probably be willing to pay for him for real. But we talk about Terrence Bud Crawford versus any of the top premier boxing champion fighters. Maybe even Sean Porter not in the picture, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Earl Spence is definitely number one on my list. Especially when he get done with Jeff Meso, WBO champion. I would love to see, you know, Terrence mix it up, at least one of those guys. 2 or 3 if he wanted to. Obviously, he want to go with the guys with the 3 belts, and that's Earl, and 2 belts, WBC. Keith Thurman, WBA, excuse me. And that's what he want to do, but I don't think they're interested in making the fight. But I said this is the hypothetical. If at the end of the day, and you guys want to see your top 5 fights, obviously this would be on top of the bill for a lot of people. You know, I went on live on a Correa show last night. Remember, ILTBA Boxing Talk on Facebook and YouTube. They got a Facebook group. So if you join the group, it got ILTBA with the dots, with the acronym dots in there. But I just think Terrence Crawford would obliterate this new version of Keith Thurman. This tentative, this prancy, this you know, Victoria's Secret lingerie wearing Keith Thurman. I don't know who stashed Keith Thurman's soul and heart and replace them. Y'all talk about Gucci Man as a clone. Keith Thurman as a clone, in my opinion. But, you know, this would be the most anticipated fight. Bud versus any of these guys. Bud and Danny got history. They both, you know, one beat each other in the amateurs. And Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is cut from the same cloth. You know, they both real down to earth type guys, but, you know, ready to mix it up and throw them hands with anybody. Let me know y'all top 5 or some fights y'all want to see if Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, and Al Hammond, Premier Boxing Champions, HBO, Showtime, ESPN would have buried the hatches today, and they wanted to make 5 fights. With their fighters, with 5 fights, what you want to see. And appreciate it. Remember, we got the podcast in the description. And we're going to have a good, productive boxing day and off-topic day. We got a lot of things coming. You know, one love. We going